I've got two fun and profitable projects for you today, and I'm going to give you a bunch of tips. Hey, welcome back to the shop, everybody. Today we're going to be doing two projects. They're fun, they're fast, they're inexpensive to make, they sell well, and they're profitable. So you can't go wrong there. Now, here's the deal. It's July 8th, and I'm already thinking about Christmas sales. And that 3 to 4 week period is just wild around here. And I'm always looking for new product to put into the store that's profitable. And I like to have some inexpensive products in my store as well, just because they're good add-ons. Somebody buying an expensive bowl or cutting board can look through my store and find one of these projects here and say, for 30 bucks, I'm going to go ahead and buy it for my aunt for Christmas. So there you go. That's kind of my rationale behind all this. So let's get into these projects, and there's going to be a lot of tips along the way. So pay attention. All right. Well, here's project number one. This is going to be a wall hanging, and it's going to have an option. So with your Etsy store, you can create options like add-ons for an additional cost. So the add-on for this would be a leash holder. Sell that for an extra $5 or something like that. So there's kind of a tip. Always use your options when you can. Now, here's what this is going to look like. Of course, the wood's going to get finished, and we're going to do that. But that's kind of the idea. It'll have a little wall hanger in the back. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's talk about the wood for a second. This is 1x4, and I bought a 6-foot length. So I'm going to get 4 of these projects out of there. That's kind of going to cost me a total of $2.50 each, plus an 80-cent hanger, and then the lettering. Yeah, I've got a tiny bit of stain, and I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to do a 45 on this. I think it'll look nice, and I'll do it on the back side as well. I think that'll give it a nice relief, a little shadow there. That'll look really cool. So that's project number one. Let's look at number two. So project number two is the same lettering, the same idea, the same option, but I have this upgraded wood. And this is acacia. And so I told you I was going to give you some hot tips along the way. Here's one. I bought this from Hobby Lobby, this piece of wood. The finish wasn't very good. I'm going to have to do a little sanding and refinish it. But the kicker is I paid a whole $3 for this piece of acacia. And that's a smoking deal. Can't beat that, even spending a little bit of time to cleaning it up. So there you go. Let's get these put together right now. I'm going to do all the sanding off camera. You don't need to watch me do that, but I will start at 120. I'm going to finish at 180, and we're going to call it good. Now, let's go back to this real quick. This acacia from Hobby Lobby, I bought it on sale. They put everything on sale like once a month. It just kind of rotates, and it's usually a 50% off sale, which is pretty nice. In end of season stuff, it's like 70% off, so you could get this even cheaper than $3 if you're lucky. I signed up for at their website for their email list, and I get notifications. And if you don't have a Hobby Lobby near you, that's not a problem, because you can go ahead and buy this stuff online. And if you purchase more than $50, it's free shipping. So that's a smoking deal. All right, there you go. Another tip. So this is my fest tool. You see how the sanding disc is kind of grody? Well, check this out. I use this for my drum sander. I think it's an erasing wheel. I'll put a link in the notes so you can see it. But check this out. Looks like brand new. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to use that periodically because it's going to extend the life of your sanding disc. So there you go. All right. See you in a little bit. We're going to do the finishing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish these up. With the acacia, I'm going to use the Osmo. It's a good product for it, and it's a simple wipe on, wipe off, and let it dry for a little bit. Then we can finish up the project. And with the pine, I'm using this Minwax Ipswich pine. It works out really good too. Another tip along the way, you probably hear the noise in the background. That's actually my laser running. So Though I'm working here, I've got it working elsewhere, and it's a great way to use my time. All right, we'll come back to you after this is all applied, but it's going to look real nice. Off camera, I went ahead and I sprayed out all the letters with a satin clear enamel, and I used the stencil to lay these in so when I spray paint, they don't fly away. They will otherwise. So I've got the painter's tape down. We're good to go there. And I've got the template positioned at the very top of the board, and that's because this is the one that's going to have the leash holder on it. This one over here is going to be without the leash holder, so I'll just center this on the piece of wood, so it makes it really easy. I use Starbond medium CA glue. I don't use the activator, don't need to. And heavy would work probably even better. And you just don't want to get too much on there, otherwise you end up gluing your template, which is a bummer. I've done it. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of these, and I'll bring you back in just a moment. We'll see what this looks like with the hook on and the hanger on the back. Well, these turned out really nice. I'm really happy with them, and you know, it was quick, it was fun, and the results are really nice. So here's the one without the leash hanger, also very cool looking. All of these have their little hooks on the back, so your customer can hang them. And the acacia stole the show, I think. That beautiful maple lettering in contrast with the brown acacia, I think it's really sharp. And the cool thing here is I still have room to hang that hook if somebody wants to do that value add to this. So that's a winner. Okay, I've got templates and the lettering available in the show notes if you're interested. It's very affordable. And again, a lot of fun to do. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the bell, you'll get all my notifications. My name is Derek Smiley, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for following along. I really appreciate it.
In a small wood shop where the daylight's thin, we carve out dreams with a pocket full of sin. Sawdust drifts like snow in a winter night. In the dim glow of love, everything feels right. Splinters in our hands, but it's worth the pain. Working side by side as we ride this train. Your life cuts through the air, sweet and true. Building something strong, just me and you. Sawdust hearts and splintered love, crafted in a world most rough. Tender hands and silent vows, we'll make it through somehow, somehow. Nailed our hopes to beams of pine. Every touch of your hand feels like a sign. In the scent of cedar, we find our peace. Through the work and wear, our love won't cease. Your eyes shine bright like varnished oak, holding tight to words we never spoke. Chiseling away at doubts and fears. Love that's built can last for years. Sawdust hearts and splintered love, crafted in a world most rough. Tender hands and silent vows, we'll make it through somehow, somehow. Sawdust hearts and splintered love, crafted in a world most rough. Tender hands and silent vows, we'll make it through somehow, somehow.